So, this first time overdose. Okay. I did try recording this already, but I'm not very good at sticking to a point. I always end up going off on a tangent, so please, if bear with me. The first time that I took a serious overdose was back in, it was back in November 2010. I had just been left by my partner at the time, and he hadn't just broken up with me. He had lied to me. He lied to me, took me over to my mum's house, and then him and his friend went to where we were living and emptied it of all of his belongings, and then he phoned me while I was at my mum's to say that he wasn't coming to pick me up and that he was leaving me. And that just, I'd had someone else abandon me like that in my life when I was very, very young. My sister's dad was always my dad from the ages of 2, which is when he met my mum, and then at 11, when it came out that his brother had been abusing me, he just disowned me, like, in an instant. That's it. Dad one day, no dad the next. He didn't want anything more to do with me or anything like that, so that, as I'm sure you can tell, was hard to take, because it was just like, I don't know, it definitely shaped the way that I am, unfortunately. So yeah, that it really, really hit me hard. And having borderline personality disorder, it was a straight up, like, suicidal feeling as an instant. Not upset, I'm talking like despair, suicidal, I need to die right this second, etc. So I went to the doctors. I'd actually made a fake sleep diary. I'd written it on a piece of paper, crumpled it up to make it look like I'd done it over a week. I managed to get some sleeping pills from the doctors. When I got home, do you know what? I look so fat. I really don't like this. Is that better? No. I look chubbier than I am. I promise I'm not this chubby. Look. Sorry. I'm nervous. Yeah, so I obtained the sleeping pills. I went home and I locked myself in my house. I wrote out suicide letters, which I do have, but I don't think anyone's going to want to read those. And I kept them for a reason, because it was a low place. And I bolted the door shut. I wrote the letters. I sent a text message to Nicky. I knew his phone was off. So I knew he wouldn't be switching it on, so I just left a text message on that. When I started to feel the sleeping pills come into effect, I text my mum, because I didn't think they'd be able to save me by then. The next thing I remember, I was in the hospital, and they were working on me, trying to get a cannula in me. It was extremely difficult to be able to cannulate me. So I had one on each arm, one on each leg, nurses and things. My mum wasn't allowed in at that time because I was in resus. I was quite poorly. After, I sort of came round from it. I was very high for a long time, but I was angry. I was angry at the doctors for saving me. I was angry at my mum for not just leaving me to it. And I didn't know what to do with that anger. In that second, I didn't know whether... I just didn't know where to put any of my emotions. When my mum told me that Nicky had, been in contact with her, and she had told him, because by then he'd got the text message. I didn't realise he was going to switch his phone on, but later on he got the text message, and I think he contacted the police also, I don't know, saw that my door was all smashed in, and contacted my phone maybe, or my mum, I don't know, but she told me that she had said to him not to contact me again, to leave me alone and things like that. And at the time I was so angry with her. I'm thinking, oh my god, like, if he's phoned, that means that, has he decided that, I'm worth another go? Has he decided that my life is important? Can he now see how much I love him? That if I would try and kill myself because he's gone, you know, and all stupid shit like that. Like, years later, I now know that it wasn't so much him, it was the abandonment situation. You know what I mean? I went back to being a little girl, you know. I mean, am I going to say that I wasn't in love with him? Of course I was, but, you know, the suicide thing was tied into the fear of abandonment less than him. So yeah, that was that. I did, and I went through some really stupid emotions. I managed to then speak to him once I was at the mental hospital. I wanted to leave, and they were telling me, if you leave, we're going to section you and all things like that. And, you know, so I spoke with him and said that I'd only stay if, you know, is there a chance of me and you getting back together? You know, can I work on, tell me the things that I've got to fix, you know, and I'll do it. I'll do anything you want. You know, it was all stupid, pathetic stuff like that, really. And he agreed. And so I was like, okay then, you know. And I think the reason why my time in that hospital didn't do as good for me as it should have done is because I wasn't there to get better for myself. I was there to get better for him. You know, that's all I wanted to do, was to get better for him. And when, obviously, I tried to kill myself 3 times while I was in the mental hospital. But I think I'll save that story for another day. Or another video. You never know, might stop this and then start that one. I don't know. We'll see. You'll be able to tell by my makeup and my clothes. Yeah. So I think the other little overdoses that I took, one was literally, I took 8 cocodamol, like the ones you can buy over the counter. I swallowed 8 in one go, and then told someone, I think I phoned an ambulance myself, and literally was like, I've taken tablets, you know, and it was literally just like, woo, help me, I need help. You know, my arms flying around all over the place. You know, it was, I need help, I want help. Mum, finally pay me some attention, please. You know, because I was hoping my mum would be in there. Oh my God, Niz, I'm so glad you're alive. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, don't you ever do that again. You know, if you was to try and kill yourself, you know, my world would be nothing. And I know that sounds a little bit melodramatic, but they're the sorts of things that you really want, you know, I want my mum to, you know, if I was to be dead, I want my mum to be broken. I want her to be upset. And I know that sounds really horrible, but I don't think she would be. If I was to just drop dead, I think she'd probably think it's one less thing to worry about. Oh, well, at least I haven't got to put up with her mood swings anymore. Or, you know, just things like that, you know. But I didn't get any of it. I didn't get any of that. That's what I was hoping for, you know, by doing that. It was just an attention thing, you know. But this was a I don't ever want to be awake ever again thing. And it explains why I was hospitalised for 2 months, because they did not want to let me out. And I think also because I still presented such a high risk due to the other suicide attempts while I was actually in there, that really sort of made them keep me in for that long. Physical wise, I'm not sure if it caused any damage, because I can't remember if they gave me what they said to me at the time. My psychotherapist Amanda and my psychiatrist Dr. Matucci, they are going and doing, they want me to go to see a liver specialist, because I've taken overdoses since then, massive ones, and my body actually had processed all of those drugs. Oh, my legs, I'm going dead. I'm sitting on my bed with my legs crossed and my legs are going dead. They're worried about, you know, the damage that could have been done to my liver. Is that why I'm not feeling well all the time? And just things like that. They're not too sure, and they're a bit worried, so they're going to be sorting that out in the new year. They want me to go to see a liver specialist and things, but, you know, I'm glad now, ish. Well, I'm glad that it didn't work then, because I wouldn't have met certain people, you know. I wouldn't have met Jack. I wouldn't have had Lily Rose, you know, if I would have died then. And through all my suicide attempts, you know, it started off with me being angry at the doctors, but then it turned it towards myself, because I was, you know, I take massive overdoses. I burpee. You know, I had massive overdoses and I didn't die. I took enough to kill like 5 people. I didn't have to have any counteractive medicine, and I wasn't dead. So I was not happy at all. I was very, very, very pissed off, angry, upset, and just fucking annoyed, to be fair. But then it was only myself, you know, at myself, and it's like, ugh. I think, you know, I'd convinced myself, you know, that I was invincible, until I almost died having the baby. So, yeah, that is another story. I'll tell you all about that one other time. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much sums up my first, like I say, my first overdose, like overdose that I took to really do myself in. You know, and for people that say that people who kill themselves are selfish, you're absolutely right. You know, you are absolutely right. You know, because I did have Caden already by then. He didn't live with me. Another story. But, you know, and am I a bad mum? Yeah, I'm a bad mum. You know, because, and I don't understand why, but he just wasn't, just like him as a being wasn't enough at the time to keep me on this earth. You know, he wasn't the oh, that's why I keep going all the time. You know, I didn't have that. I think Nikki was the thing at the time, but I don't know, obviously I lost that and I lost him. And do you know what? One day, I swear, I would absolutely love it. He seems to think that, you know, I'm always going to be in love with him and things like that. No. You know, when, you know, I'd figured things out and really thought about stuff, I just thought to myself, if anything, I feel embarrassment. Serious embarrassment, because I let him walk all over me, you know, and he clearly enjoyed fucking with my head, literally. Like, figuratively and literally. You know, he just, no. He's a wanker. So, I think I'm just going to end the video now, because I've run out of things to say, and I'm getting too far into other things. So, we'll save all of that. But yeah, if you guys do, if anyone is upset or, you know, are having trouble, things like that, you know, I mean, I'm not going to give my phone number out to people, but I have put a link in the description box. Send me an email. Send me an email. Tell me whatever the hell you want to tell me. You know, don't tell me what you... Even if it's just, you know, talk to me or anything like that. You know, I will speak to you guys. The email, it's the Trouble Sold one down in the description box. And then... you know, I'll reply to you. You know, you are important. And the thing is, you know, you might not want to be here now, but things will happen for you. You know, I wouldn't have my daughter if I'd, you know, survived all of these things. So, yeah. All right, bye, peeps. Okay. Love you.